Hi everyone, welcome back to Sparkling Memories. I'm Miss Suturan. At Era we can find content in reference to self-care, organizing, cooking, everything that has to do with Mary Kay, and of course, shopping. Shopping for the various different items. In front of you, we're going to have the video on how to get this balanced meal started. We have some salmon, some mixed vegetables, some baked beans, some white rice, and plantain. Plantain is similar to what you will find in the banana family, so we're going to get started on this. Stay tuned. Okay, here we have the bell peppers and the onions, and over here we actually have a chopper. Now, that's an event that you don't have time to actually chop it up yourself, or you can go ahead and use a cutting board and of course a knife so you can chop it up. That's in the event that you don't have time to just do the whole shebang. You can always use a chopper like that. This chopper, you can actually find it in just about any Walmart. You just put it in the cover, push it down, and it chops it up. Okay, this is actually the downside of actually using a chopper, because it will make some of the things small and other things that's in there you literally have to smush down by the blades and try to get it small like all the rest. That's just the top for it, and then we just make sure it's on properly. Look like it's actually curried if you put it on too long. That's not what you want. Okay, so we just open one of these. This is actually the pink salmon kind, the royal pink. And of course we put it in a bowl. This is before we actually skin it to have the little tiny bones and some of the skin. And that's when we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add this, which is just the onion, bell peppers we did in a chopper, and then combine it with other ingredients. And here we have the cooked vegetables, the California blend. Of course, we need a little bit of Smart Balance margarine butter. Then we have some baked beans here. It's a nice color. Over here we have the salmon that you saw at the beginning part of the video. And then over here we have some plantain that's going to get finished just now. Let's put them in. And you see the nice cook on there. You could take one thing, add different things, such as the seasoning, whether it be fresh, whether it be onion powder, garlic powder, whichever kind of seasoning you want to put in there. And these are all the different things. And then you still have to go about putting the rice. When you say balanced meal, this is what you're talking about. Making some vegetables, the beans, the fish, the plantain, and of course go ahead and make some rice. Bring it all together. You can always make your own sauce. Is another great addition to it too. So you have the sauce and these. Of course, the mixed vegetables, very easy. You add your onion powder, your garlic powder, maybe some onion bell peppers, give it a nice flavor. Just add your own spin to it. Over here we have the plantains, and we're just going to give those a turn because of the color it is right now. It's a nice golden brown color. Same thing with the salmon. Some nicely color that is. You always want to put the bread in. You can always put it on the inside and the outside, but if you put it on the inside, just remember the breading might make it kind of dry, so you want to add other things to it. That's another thing. I see people bread things and they don't add things like egg or tomato sauce, and that will really throw out the taste of what you put in, especially when you put a lot of bread in and stuff and you don't do much of anything else. That's what tends to happen. And as you can see, some of them worked out, some of them are just doing their own thing, and that happens because they went in different times. And plus we had a little problem with the oven, so It's been a little minute before you actually start to get a nice color. She's a lot more golden brown. Just use some vegetable oil with that. Now the breadcrumbs is to hold it together, but obviously it was a fail. Some of them actually broke apart when it's turning and some of the filling come out. I do have it another way you can do it, whereas you don't have that. You can add your egg and your breadcrumbs, or basically crackers. Some people use crackers with it. It depends. But when you say a balanced meal, you want to incorporate a lot of different things and what you consider balance, because balance could be just rice, vegetables, and beans, and then it could be a lot more than that. Best part I like about making these plantains, they don't take long at all, which is nice. And here we have the finished product. When you say balance, we have the California blend. Of course, we added more broccoli because it wasn't quite enough. Then we also have some baked beans, some wild rice, some plantain, and of course some salmon. So this would be the end product. So you want to stay into a point where you have some type of protein, some type of vegetable, some type of grain, and beans is always good to add. The plantain is similar to banana. It comes from the same family, but it's not quite the same item. When you buy it in your store, it's actually named plantain. People make it various different ways. One of the ways I like to make it is to actually fry it. As far as the beans go, you can either buy store-bought beans, or you can actually buy it and get it from a can or a bag, depending on what you're looking for. A California blend is basically the cauliflower, the broccoli, and carrots. They have different kinds. And the wild rice, of course, you have two different grains of rice when it comes to the wild rice. So until next time, it's Miss Sitaram from Sparkling Memories. Bye bye.